Welcome back to Closing Time with Nick El-Tawil. I am once again Nick El-Tawil, and I'm here with my guest again, Aaron Rocha, back for round number 2.
Yep.
What's up, Rocha? How are you?
You got me back. You got some new digs. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too, buddy. And you have a new hat.
I have a new hat.
Let's talk about this a bit, hat. So obviously he's in real estate because he's got the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and assets?
Amortization.
Amortization.
Yes.
Yes.
So I work in real estate. I'm one of the 2 founders of a syndication fund called Multifamily. And to say it in a sentence, our mission is to bring institutional grade commercial real estate investments to the masses. My story is I grew up super middle class. My mom was a school teacher. My dad was a carpenter. And nobody sat at my dinner table and said, Aaron, get into private equity real estate. It just didn't come up. But
Didn't come up for me either.
Yeah, exactly.
And my family's in real estate. So.
There you go, yeah. But you know, the winds of opportunity blow us in different directions. It blew me into commercial real estate, and I did some cool things, met some cool people. And some point along the line, I said, hey, like I've got this base of knowledge and these contacts that would benefit me, and how could I help people like me rather than just serving the wealthiest people in the country? And that's what I set out to do with Multivestors. It's been 4 years. We've got 11 different funds right now, which is like wild to say. I still feel like we're about to launch our second one.
Yeah, I think last time you were what, on fund number 2 or 3 or something?
Probably. When did we do it? I think
like
it's
a
been
year
a
and
little
a
more
half.
than a year, right?
It was like a year and a half.
We
yeah.
were probably rounding the corner of like 5, maybe 6 at the time. So yeah, it's been a busy 2 years for us. And you know us historically doing multifamily, but in 2025 we placed our first round of capital into industrial real estate too.
Okay.
So we have a lot to talk about, and that's where I get the hat. The hat is actually our Mag Capital. It's our new partner out in Texas that we're working with, and they're our operator for all of our industrial investments.
Nice.
Yeah.
So industrial, is that going to be here, or is that in Texas, or is that just all over?
It's worldwide. So our partners are in Texas. That's just where they happen to be. But the strategy is we're doing a roll-up of 40 to 50 small bay assets all over the country. So our capital is exposed to assets in many different states, not just in Texas. There certainly are some in Texas. There are some in California. There are some in Arizona. And then all kind of across the Midwest and into the Northeast.
Because I know industrial real estate, huge for in Arizona because
Yes.
our weather's so predictable.
Yes.
Nothing really changes. You don't have to worry about a giant power outage or a hurricane or anything like that in Arizona. So I know we're kind of running out of land for that stuff, so it's kind of farther out there now.
Well, I was going to say the opposite. The way the city of Phoenix or the MSA grows, you kind of never run out of land because there's just desert in every direction, right? So if you can solve the problem of getting water and power to your asset, that's what developers are doing. So I'm not in the ground up development game. Everything that we buy exists today, and we're rolling it up into our portfolio. We're not doing any ground up development, but you know, for the reasons that you stated, it's been a good industrial hub for the onshoring of manufacturing. It's been good for logistics to help, you know, goods come from California out to the rest of the country along the I-10. And it's been good for data centers too because of the lack of natural disasters.
Right, yeah. It's funny, we have run out of land, at least in the East Valley.
In the East Valley, we're running out.
Scottsdale, East Valley, yeah, no land.
Yeah, you very much deal in scarcity.
Yeah.
And I deal in desert.
The middle of nowhere, like, we want that.
Exactly, yeah. Not a lot of industrial or multifamily assets popping up in Paradise Valley, but it's always fun, you know, hanging out with you because there are so many parallels between our businesses, and you have a perspective that matters to me, and I imagine I have one that matters to you too.
I mean, there could be multifamily in Paradise Valley.
We should.
My agent Fritz, who's downstairs right now, he sent me. There was a law that was just passed. It was for Scottsdale, but we happen to just sell a couple houses that are technically in Paradise Valley, but they're governed by the city of Scottsdale.
Okay.
So all the zoning laws that just changed apply to them because it's governed by Scottsdale, even though it's Paradise Valley.
Yep.
You can now build a fourplex in Paradise Valley.
Interesting.
On one lot.
So you can.
You can.
You can. I'm still not investing in fourplexes. But I saw too. There was the project at the Phoenician where they were putting up. Those are kind of like townhomes. Are those
Townhouses?
duplexes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are actually all like one family per unit.
One up, one down.
Yeah. Well, no, they're just 2 stories.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
So they're divided. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are beautiful. Those are very expensive.
Yes. I think I just saw one. It was $4.5 million. But you walk into it. Second story. It's just Camelback is right in front of you. Like every single window, Camelback Mountain. And then you're on the Phoenician.
Yeah.
You can go use the amenities.
And the view from there looking up, you're looking up the Cholla Trail of Camelback. That's like the coolest view of the mountain in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
That's what we got.
Some people have ocean views. We got Camelback Mountain views.
Yeah, until there's oceanfront property in Arizona.
Which, I mean, if we annex Mexico,
Yeah. Step one.
just give us Rocky Point, Mexico. Just
Yeah,
give us that.
I think we'd be happy with that. I think Mexico could lose it, right? They have enough beachy tourist
Yeah,
towns. Just
yeah.
throw us one. It's
Just
like
give us
40
Rocky
miles.
Point, yeah.
Yeah, just a little spit of land. We'll build a port.
Did you ever learn in school how Baja California was almost part of California?
No. So I went to school. I grew up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of like the Pilgrims and Pocahontas. I didn't get like the local. What?
Yeah, we got that too, but so the Mexican American War, 1850s, Baja California was going to be part of California. They were ready to give us, and also Rocky Point would have been part of Arizona. So
Yeah,
they were going to give us all that. I think the president, I forget who it was at the time. It was like Woodrow Wilson or something. He was like, you know what? It's just too much. We don't want all this, and he just signed it off and said, you
Drew a
guys can
line.
keep that. Yeah.
Isn't that weird how that happens?
Yeah, like the most valuable land ever.
Oh, totally.
Like-
Yeah. I saw. It was like a colonial map of the original, like of New England and Virginia, basically, and all of the states just extended west like infinitely because they hadn't really like done westward expansion yet. So they had like Massachusetts and Virginia running into like the Ohio River Valley, just like there be dragons out here. Like anybody who wants to fight the Native Americans out that way, like go for it. You're Massachusetts.
Fighting Pocahontas.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the moral of the story.
So Multivestors Group, you guys started at like the worst time for multifamily.
Yeah. Didn't do that on purpose.
No, I mean, I started at the worst time in residential in Arizona.
When
so
you moved out,
2022.
yeah, totally, yeah. And we might have talked about this a little bit last time, but it was actually the worst best time. So it was the worst time for transactions because there was so much competition in the market. Transactions were so hot. It was hard to get prices that made sense. So we spent our first year kind of not buying anything, and that was at the time very discouraging. But now, with the benefit of hindsight, which is hindsight's 2020, we would have lost those deals. I mean, if we had won those deals, we would have lost our investors' money.
Right.
A lot of those deals are part of the correction right now. What we were looking at in 2020 and 2021, the chickens are coming home to roost on those 5-year loans right now. It's the end of 2025.
Right.
And we're currently buying properties from those buyers from back then at 25, 30% discounts in Sunbelt cities, and that would have been us. So we had to start slower than we wanted to, but we stayed very disciplined. We didn't buy bad property. We didn't take on bad debt, and we haven't lost any money of investor capital, which we're very proud to say. And now we're benefiting from the same trend 5 years later by buying those things off market at a deep discount.
Yeah. We think we talked about this last time, but
Yeah, we
that
probably did.
opportunity that's created when you join at a really bad time,
Yes.
or at least bad time. It's a great time for opportunity, but you do have to be patient. You do have to fight through the bad times.
Yes.
And then eventually you come out on the good side.
And the problem with that is you got to find a way to get paid in the short term,
Yes.
right? Which was a struggle for us at the beginning, and there were definitely days or nights where I lost a lot of sleep and said, "How is my baby gonna survive?" But hey, we got there. One deal turns into 10.
I love it. I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you do too.
It is what I do too, except I don't have a kid. So for me, it's just like, well, I'll be homeless, but no, at least I don't have a kid to worry about.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to encounter the most motivating thing,
It's having a
go out
kid.
there and have a kid.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me.
They're amazing. They're my best friends. I love hanging out with them. They're 3 and 4 now. And they bring me energy, but they also scare the hell out of me. I mean, I'm going to have to write checks for college at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just be like Anthony Edwards and just have a bunch of baby mamas. Like,
Yeah, he's
maybe that'll
probably very
motivate
motivated.
me.
That's why he's so good at basketball. It's nice to be 6'10", but 6'10" and motivated.
Just 6'10" and motivated. Like, shit,
Yeah.
8 kids.
Yeah, that's the difference between us and Ann Edwards.
Yeah. 8 kids.
8 kids. Yeah.
8 kids.
If I had 6 more.
Yeah, man. Well, it sounds like you're doing really well and things have been going good for you, and I'm glad to hear that. What's going on in the multifamily space? I know you mentioned there's been a big correction.
Yep.
You're buying stuff at discounts that you were seeing, 4 or 5 years ago. What else is going on?
Yeah, I think cap rates are starting to make sense. I think the interest rate environment has settled a little bit. I think there's still a bit of a war to be fought over interest rates. The bond market doesn't necessarily believe in what the Fed is doing, and we're about to get a new chairman of the Fed sometime between now and I think the deadline is like next May for the president to appoint who he thinks will be. There was an article yesterday that says he already knows who it is, but I won't tell, or he won't tell. So we'll see what happens with interest rates, but I think right now cap rates make sense. And to my earlier point, sellers are starting to just capitulate to the realities of the market.
Yes.
There's this wall of loans coming due that have been coming due really since last year and will continue to into next year and the year after that. And it kind of doesn't matter what interest rates do in the short term. If in the short term you have to go get a new loan at today's rate and you originally underwrote something that you can't achieve right now, you have a problem that creates opportunity for buyers. So sellers, whether they like it or not, are starting to capitulate in the multifamily market. The other thing that we're seeing is new deliveries, new assets really peaked. I think at the end of last year, some people would tell you into this year, it's probably subjective, submarket by submarket. Absorption has been really healthy, meaning these cities are still growing and people are still able to pay the higher rents than they were 5 years ago. But that has an effect on the existing assets, right? So these new assets are coming online, and as they're leasing up, they're offering concessions. So you're seeing, especially in Texas right now, we're seeing 1 month, 2 months, maybe even 3 months of free rent for a new renter. Well, that's hard to compete with because we're not a brand new asset with 100 units or 200 units to rent, right?
Yeah.
So that has kind of kept rents down for us a little bit in order for us to stay competitive in the market. But as we move into the future, there are less new deliveries to be absorbed every single day, right? So there are just fewer and fewer units of supply for this ever-growing demand to move into. So I think long-term, that's obviously going to push rents up. That's what our supply and demand formula would teach us, and we will ultimately benefit from that. But the trend has been, across our 10 industrial funds, 10 multifamily funds, we've got 1 industrial, 10 multifamily. They're all performing either on par or outperforming slightly right now. We've got nothing underperforming. So it's been an environment that we can ride out, and I think it's only going to continue to benefit our investors in the future.
Definitely. It's just a slog right now, but once you get through it,
it's a slog. Yeah, and you talk to brokers too, right? And commercial brokers, and they're all saying the same stuff. The last few years, there's been almost no transactions, and we're living on leases, and we're resizing and right-sizing, and every now and then you get a build to suit, but you're not seeing those huge, high watermark transactions for sales and purchases happening. And I imagine your world probably looks pretty similar, right? You don't do a ton of leases, do you?
Actually, this year I did a bunch.
Yeah,
There was
same thing.
1 month where I did like 20,000 of rentals.
Wow.
So I did that in July. So that was fun.
That's not even that long ago.
No.
Yeah, so same kind of story, right? Transactions are staying down, but you're getting leases done, and the money's moving, and
Yeah.
transactions are happening. Good.
Yeah, but it's for us, like the really high-end properties were actually doing the best of anything else.
Yeah.
The stock market was roaring, Bitcoin was roaring. That's actually cooled off. So Paradise Valley right now is actually cooled off, way the hell off.
Yeah.
It was the strongest market in all of Arizona. Now it's like the 6th or 7th. I just had it in my email the other day. But that's because of the very, very high end. It doesn't really correlate with interest rates. It correlates with stocks
With wealth
and other
creation.
assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those people are paying all cash.
Yep.
They're not worried about the
A
mortgage
mortgage
rate.
for a $9 million house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you seeing a lot of Bitcoin buyers?
Everybody that has bought a home this year has some amount of crypto.
Really?
Every single person. They have some crypto assets. At least the ones who needed mortgages. So the guys who needed mortgages, they had crypto.
Interesting.
And, my mortgage guy, he just always knows how to account for it.
Yeah, the banks like it more and more every day, it
Yeah.
seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily use it as cash, but they just count it as an asset. So he has this many assets, and here's how we,
Got it.
calculate that.
So it's volatile. So they're not saying it's liquidity, but it is an asset.
Yeah, I mean, if they do want to sell it, then they can call it liquid.
Gotcha.
But they just basically classify it as an asset.
Yeah, and Bitcoin's down a little bit right now. This is probably a good buying time.
Yeah. I don't know. I had Bitcoin was $100, and guess how much I kept?
None of it. I've never owned any Bitcoin, which might be a character flaw on me. I've just had my nose. I don't really trade stocks either. Like all of my retirement funds, it all goes into just S&P 500 ETFs. Like I try to make stocks very simple, and hey, I know people that have done very, very well in Bitcoin, and they tell me to buy, and it seems like it's always time to buy, and they tell me someday it'll be $1 million. I just haven't gone in yet, so I'll regret that at some point.
Yeah, I regretted selling it when it was $100.
But how are you supposed to know? There was did you see the tweet? There was a guy that bought a pizza for like 40 Bitcoin in like 2001.
Yeah. Back then, people were saying Bitcoin was going to be the new money. They weren't saying it was an investment. No one was thinking like, oh, I'm going to get rich off this.
It was just going to be currency.
Right. It's going to replace the U.S. dollar. It's going to be the new money.
Yeah.
And I played around with it for a few years, and I really, really understood it, and I felt like I knew a lot about it, and I was like, you people are retarded. And so this will never replace the U.S. dollar. It's only good for money laundering and buying drugs.
Yeah, that was
That's
my
really,
initial impression.
That's really all it's good
black
for.
market, and the black market's huge.
Black market is apparently much bigger than I thought.
Yes, so there's a reason for this to exist.
Yeah.
But it's a huge logical leap for me to say we're going to get all the way to replace the standard currency of the world with the U.S.
Yeah, so the narrative changed after it hit like 10,000. So the narrative then became, oh, now it's an investment.
Yeah.
Now it's going to go up in value
Smart
because it's
people got in the
limited
room.
supply and it'll never increase beyond that. So
Yes.
the narrative completely changed.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's an asset, and you could buy things with it. Have you ever sold a house with Bitcoin, or
No.
has it always been turned into cash?
It's always turned into cash,
Yeah.
just because.
How would you even get it done?
Well, especially here, you have to record in U.S. dollars. So it's always going to be converted to cash
You're not
by
going
the
to get through
title
title
company.
and escrow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I wonder if that's possible somewhere.
No, they did it in Miami. I remember like 10 years ago.
That's the place for it. If it's
Yeah,
gonna
but
happen.
Miami, like they still converted it to USD
Yeah.
for the recording.
So they take a spot price like at closing,
Yeah.
and they do a
Yeah.
transfer. Yeah.
But the whole,
it's extra steps.
like I think it was just transferred to the other person in pure Bitcoin,
Right.
but they did a monetary value for the title.
Yeah, they assigned
Yeah.
for escrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it still has to be recorded with a dollar value, and
Mm-hmm.
your tax basis has to be based not on a volatile currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The tax basis, though, in Arizona at least, they don't actually use your sales price for your tax amount.
You know, I should know this because I have a license to buy and sell real estate. Ask me how many houses I've ever bought and sold in
One.
my. Yeah, one. The one I live in. The one, and I didn't broker it. I wasn't my real estate agent for that either. It would have been you if you were here.
Yeah.
You were
if only.
busy in New York.
I know. I should have came back in 2020.
Yeah, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, I would have. I would have. New York, it was weird. Like the sales market was going down. The rental market skyrocketed.
Yeah,
So
through
there were
investment.
lines out the door for rentals.
Yeah.
And you'd have a rental open house that'd be gone in 30 minutes because the first 5 people who walked in all put in an application.
Right, with a love letter and a deposit and here's
Yeah.
a blank check. And,
Yeah, but sales were not taking off, which was wild.
That is
Whereas
weird.
here, the sales were taking off.
And it was the opposite.
Yeah. So
Do you keep in touch with like your real estate buddies in New York still? Like, what do they think about the new political environment they're about to be living in?
So I know the real estate industry has basically embraced it and basically made it so nothing's going to change.
Okay.
So basically,
I like
Zoran
that.
Mamdani's like, we're going to freeze the rent. And the real estate industry was like, great, freeze the rent,
You can't do that.
increase the taxes,
Yeah.
and you guys are going to pay for our expenses and our increased real estate taxes.
Yeah.
And so literally nothing's going to change.
Yeah, and I started reading about like there was legislation to protect investors that don't live in New York. There was legislation to protect people moving their money from real estate out of New York and into other areas. And the net of the article that I read was like, basically for the consumer, for everybody that should have an opinion on this, nothing's going to change. There's
Yes.
going to be differences in paperwork for
Yeah.
real estate professionals, but
Yeah.
net, like the buyers are buyers, the sellers are sellers, and their worlds are the same.
And you know what? It actually made me appreciate this Zoran Mamdani guy because he's very good at marketing.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
very, very good at marketing. He knows what gets people to listen. We're going to freeze the rent. We're going to do
Yeah.
this. We're going to do that. He got his base. He got the people he wanted to like him. At the end of the day, nothing's going to change. But that all happens behind the scenes. Like the guy who's actually
that
putting
was
his
my
face out there is the one who's like,
Yeah.
he's making these big promises.
Well, and that's how you get elected, right?
Yeah, that's how you get elected,
or at
yeah.
least that's how you get elected in 2025.
So he's a very good politician.
Yeah.
So I have come to actually respect the way he went about doing that
Yes.
a lot more. When you first hear it, like, oh, I want to freeze the rent, you're like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
so,
and
yeah.
when I actually see how it all played out, I'm like, oh, you know, he kind of did
This
a good.
kinda works.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
kind of did what
Better
he
than
was
rent
supposed
control
to
in
do.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how you get elected, and that's taking a page out of Donald Trump's book too, which the Democrats started getting trounced by the whole MAGA thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to like make a partisan comment right now.
We're
This is,
not
like,
making any political comments.
Yeah, my
this
politics
is
are
not
totally outside
politics.
of this conversation. But that's what the Democrats have to do. They have to learn how to fight with the same guns and stop using knives in a
Yeah.
gunfight. You know.
Yeah, and did you see?
I respect it.
There was a meeting with Trump and Mamdani. And
Yeah, I
Trump
saw
was
all the
looking at him
photos.
like smiling.
They
like,
love each
They
other.
love
Yeah.
each other. They're like they're the same side of the
Yeah,
same
they
coin.
went to the same school
Yeah.
of marketing and how to get elected, man. Absolutely. It's working. And that was my bet, too. I'm honestly kind of encouraged to hear you say it because when he got elected a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a friend who's a New Yorker, having kind of the same conversation. I was like, dude, I bet, and I'm cynical enough to say this, I bet he spends 4 years in office, he doesn't get reelected, and then whoever comes in next, no matter what party they are, nothing changes. Like the net like will be that was a fun experiment, and New York won't elect another socialist for 50 years. That was my bet.
I think it's more marketing and less actual socialism because the stuff he's agreed to as compromises behind the scenes, like, it's not going to be a total rent freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't just flip a switch and have all the food come from state-sponsored grocery stores either. Right. So all these things take time, and how do you confirm who's the right kind of customer and who's not? And I mean, think of how long it would take to put a little star on everybody in New York's driver's license.
Yeah.
Just to identify yourself.
Right.
That would be a multi-year project.
Right.
You know, the governor can only go so far. The mayor can only go so far.
How long did it take to do the real ID? That was like 2005.
Yeah.
It just happened this year.
Yeah, in like 2006, we were getting emails that were like, you have 3 months or you will never get on an airplane again. And now I just got it. I got it like 6 months ago.
I don't even have
years.
it. I bring my passport to the airport.
Yeah,
now.
or you could just fly with your passport.
Yeah, just fly with my passport.
Do your
Don't even
thing
care.
anyway. I want it to be digital. That's what I want. I want my iPhone to have, it's already got my credit card on there. If it had my ID on there, like in a way that I could show a police
Arizona is one of
officer-
4 states where you're allowed to do that.
So I have it on my thing, but I wouldn't show it to a cop. Like there's something has to happen. I'm not leaving my house without my wallet. Yeah. I'm not comfortable.
No, I'm not either. And I actually tried when I first moved out here, I never bring my wallet anywhere. I have the ID on my phone.
Yeah.
I tried to go to the W, I think it was like last year for
They
night
just didn't
flight.
let you in the bar.
They literally would not let me into the W. I showed them
for a charity gala. Not
charity
for like
gala.
walking into a bar.
Charity gala.
Yeah, where you had
And
already
I
paid.
showed them my phone ID, and I had paid for a ticket.
You had a ticket and everything.
And I paid for all this, and I showed him my ID. He's like, we don't take that. So I had to run back home, get my wallet, and then go back to the W to get into night flight.
Well, I'm glad you did, because you probably donated a bunch of money at the blackjack table to Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Let's go with that. Yeah, that's good. That's yes.
That's
I
a
did.
great event.
I did. I love you kids.
That's a great event. It was
Not
cool
like
seeing
that.
you there the other day. That's how this podcast was born.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the year they didn't let me in because the ID. That was the year before. But yeah, this past year, I saw you.
Yeah, ran into you there.
Your one night out for the year.
Yes, the kids let the wife and I out. The babysitter had a strict curfew. She was like, "Don't be out past midnight," and we were like, "Don't worry, we'll be asleep by then anyway."
It's funny. I think I texted you. I ran into this guy, Mike Darling.
Yeah.
He told me he met you that night.
Yep.
He just moved here, but I ran into him, and he was telling me, yeah, I have a bunch of friends. They're all married, and they only get like one night out a year.
Yes.
And as soon as he said all this, because I had just seen you, I was like, well, that reminds me of Rocha.
What a small world.
Sure enough, he had met you that night.
Yeah, and we had some friends in common. Not like I'm not talking about you. Some other friends that we had in common, and I think I'm going to grab coffee with him sometime next week and
Nice.
talk about how we're going to practice or how we're going to partner up on something. He's got a cool job he's with Caliber, right?
Yeah.
Out of Texas. Yeah, so he's got probably a lot of opportunity and some solid backing, smart people. I'm interested to see what that guy's going to do in Arizona.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Speaking of guys with kids who I don't see at night, Jensen over here. He's off. You guys know Jensen. I talk about him all the time. Jensen's also married with kids. I don't think I've ever seen him out past like 7 o'clock.
No, dude, our bedtime is, I'm in bed at like 8:45 every night. Yeah, I get tired, dude. And they wake me up at like 5 every morning, too.
This morning.
Yeah.
Big ass smile.
Yeah, they're happy to see
Good
you.
morning.
They have a lot of energy at 5.
And at 7 p.m. too.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, no, I take it back. Jensen, you did do Steph's birthday. So we did have you there for that. So that was the one time I saw you after
Yeah,
like
did you
8
have a
o'clock.
late night?
I felt bad. I was yawning the
Yeah.
entire time on the bus.
Yeah, he's
Because
on this
bored.
party bus. There's a stripper pole. People are going wild, and Jensen's like yawning.
Yeah, in the corner, like looking at his watch.
He's like, "Is it 9 o'clock yet? I'm
is it
out."
time for me to go to bed? Yeah,
It's real, man.
it's funny. Yeah, I mean, the worst is when your single friends are like, dude, let's all go out. We got a dinner reservation, Ocean 44. Oh, yeah, what time? Like 10:30. Dude, what? I go to bed 2 hours before you go to dinner?
I'm like, I'll miss my shows.
Yeah, exactly. I need to know what happens on Landman, dude.
Oh my god, I love that. Oh,
It's excellent.
it's my favorite show right now.
Yeah, it's great. That
Landman?
Landman
Is this a
good.
real estate show?
No, it's oil and gas. It's Billy Bob Thornton, and he's out in like the Permian Basin in Texas. And it's you should watch it. It's interesting. It's hilarious.
I haven't watched TV since Breaking Bad came off the air.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a while.
Okay, so this is what I was going to say. Not Landman. The other thing I've been watching is Pluribus, and it's the same people who created Breaking Bad. It's a totally different premise. It also happens to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which for whatever reason that's where they shoot.
They
their
really
films.
like that place.
Yeah, they love Albuquerque.
They really like Albuquerque. That's the third show
But
there.
it's great. It's so good that I want to tell you nothing about it, so you can go experience it.
Pluribus.
Pluribus. Yeah.
What season are they on?
It's season 1.
Season 1?
Season 1
Okay.
is not all the way out.
Okay,
I think
okay.
it's like 5 or 6 episodes. You could just go binge right now.
Okay, because yeah, I tried to get into Game of Thrones in like season 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So I got like halfway through the first episode. And I'm like, this is too much. Like
just
I have a
gonna
job.
skip.
No, I literally like I turned it off halfway through. It's like it's too long. It's
Oh, I can't.
I
Yeah.
gotta watch 6 seasons of this shit to catch
Right.
up to you guys. Like I'm not doing this.
Yeah, it's gonna take me until I'm 50 years old. Yeah, it's funny how Game of Thrones ended in a way that like it doesn't matter. So like you don't have to have ever watched it, and we all wasted our time because the you know what I'm talking about, right? The last season was so bad that everyone's just like embarrassed for the makers of the show.
It's like The Office. They should have cut it at season 7.
They should have ended it. Yeah. I mean, this is not the point of the podcast, but
Right.
I could rewrite season 8 of Game of Thrones so much better than they wrote it, and I could make it more seasons too. So I don't know. They fucked up.
God damn it. What was his name?
The Game of Thrones guy.
Yeah.
Oh, George R.R. Martin.
God damn it, George.
Yeah, he started it. He started it by not finishing the damn books. Oh, we're way off topic here though.
No, this is whatever comes out comes out. This is
That's
this
what
is,
it is?
This is what we do. Yeah, it's a freestyle now.
Who did you have on before me today?
So Grotto Menswear, he made this suit for me, the suit jacket.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say this is your signature pink. You're looking good.
I mean, I just got this like 2 weeks ago, so now it's my signature.
It
But that's
is.
how nice it is. It's now my signature. But my favorite part. So my name Nick El-Tawil.
yeah,
N-E-T,
Nothing
Nick
but net.
El-Tawil. Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
my favorite part.
That's good. Yeah, no, it's a good looking jacket, man. So
Thank
wait,
you.
said Auto? What's the name of the company? again?
Grotto. So
Grotto.
Grotto Menswear Phoenix. He's actually downstairs, so he's based out of this place.
Oh, nice.
For the next 2 months. So their office isn't actually opening till January.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I need some. I might go down. If you introduce me, I'm going to grab his card. I need some. I got a little fat recently. I think part of having the kids, you get fat too. You put on the
Yeah.
put on the 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I got dressed up for night flight for the gala and put my black suit on. It was just a little tight. A little tight. Might have to go get some new stuff. But I also wear that stuff. Like you wear it for work. I dress like this. I wear t-shirts. Like I wear hats.
Yeah.
I wear hoodies. You know, I
Yeah.
put a polo on if I'm feeling fancy.
And that's what I was talking to him about. It's like I got the tailored clothes, but now I cannot gain weight.
Yeah.
Like if I gain any weight, I have to buy a whole new
You're
wardrobe.
not as svelte anymore.
Yeah.
exactly.
So it's like it kind of forces me to like stay the same weight.
Yeah.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I would like to get stronger and like just get, maybe another extra 10, 20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Well, I see you in the gym. You're putting it up on your Instagram. You're out there deadlifting.
I kind of like peaked for my body weight. Like
Yeah.
I hit a point where I literally cannot get stronger unless I eat
you
more.
have to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of lost some motivation after realizing that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, for me, so like I used to like be into powerlifting, and this is 10 plus years ago. But it was the same thing. It was just like eat dirty bulk, like as heavy as you want, as much as you want, and just lift heavier and heavier and heavier. And now there's no reason to be like massive and massively strong. And like my goals are now to like I want to run another marathon. I want to maybe do an Ironman someday, and I can't do that at my current weight. So I have the opposite problem. I need to eat way less and lose a bunch of weight so I
Yeah.
can be faster. But like, dude, when am I going to be asked to bench press 315?
no.
It doesn't happen.
Bench press is like it's purely aesthetics
It's
basically.
totally aesthetic. Yeah.
Unless
And
you're a
it's-
football player, you're like
It's
stiff
kind of
arming
like
people.
getting a watch. Like you get a nice watch and you're like, oh, I'm going to attract all this attention to the ladies. And you know what you get? You get guys that are into watches.
That's exactly what I get. By the way,
there's
I have
one
2
right-
rabbits
there's a
fucking on my
beautiful
watch.
watch right there. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I bought a nice watch years and years ago, like a gold Rolex, whatever. And I would just get the worst kind of attention for it.
Yeah.
It was like like girls did not give a shit.
Nope. They don't even notice.
The people who made my food and did my laundry gave a shit, and they charged me more.
Yes.
The contractors, the people who I'm paying to
They
work for me,
notice.
they notice and they want to
Yeah.
charge me more.
Yeah.
It did with the very like wealthy clients. They did notice it, and I did talk about that a little bit. But the opposite attention that I was getting made it not worth it.
Totally.
So now I
Yeah.
just wear stuff that I like.
Yeah, I wear like a pretty low key Rolex, but I have it's
Me
kind
too.
of like it's a Submariner.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the
Most popular watch in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a balance issue because there are some people that are like, oh, he has this nice watch, he must have earned it, which is the reaction that I want them to have. Like, trust me with your money, I seem to have made some money myself.
Yeah.
But then there's the opposite, like, people look at my watch and like, what are your fees?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How much
Yeah.
am I paying you to do this?
And it's about knowing, like, I don't want to say, it is haters. Who's the hater, who's not?
Yeah, that's
you
a
don't
good
want
point.
haters to be, you know, the ones investing in your fund. You
Yeah.
want people who see you as someone who can help them grow. And they want to
Exactly.
grow with you.
Exactly.
Right.
I also have visible tattoos, and I think that applies too, right? Like,
Oh,
the
is that a
hater
real
is the guy
tattoo?
that want, yeah, that's a real tattoo.
What is that for?
It's my kids. It's A. It's all my kids and me and my wife all have the same initials, AR. My kids' names are August and Archer.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Okay.
got it when my son was born, when we had the second one. And, you know, I sit in meetings, and some people comment on it, and some people don't. And when I got it, I was like, oh, I could put a Band-Aid on it. Like, I could hide it if I want. But honestly, like, it's the same balance. Like, some people look at it, and I think they think, like, oh, he earned the right to have visible tattoos. And I'm not, like, slammed from the neck down or anything.
Right,
Like,
right.
little
You don't
tattoo
have
on my
teardrops
finger.
on your...
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, some people earn the right, and then other people are like, oh, the pearl clutchers. Like,
Yeah.
those are the haters.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them.
You know, if you drop a hot mixtape, though, you earn the right for those teardrops.
Yeah, you do. If
Yeah.
when I drop my mixtape, which is coming soon, I'm not going to tell you a date, but when it comes, I will drop a couple tears.
I'm just selling real estate till the mixtape can come out. Yeah.
You could start getting key tattoos
Yeah.
every time you sell
Yeah.
every time you sell a 5,000-foot house.
Get a house tattoo.
Yeah, little house.
The
little
house
keys.
emoji.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I thought about that for a little while. Like, 'cause I've got a few more. I don't just have this one. I was like, should I get like a real estate tattoo? But like, what would it be? You know what I mean? Like
House
the
emoji?
key, the house. Yeah, like an emoji. Like, maybe I don't need that.
So, what else you got coming in the pipeline? You guys are getting into industrial. Any
Yep.
ideas of expanding into retail, maybe?
Yeah, you know, retail is a very interesting asset class. It's not a place that I have a lot of experience, so it's an area where I have a lot of learning. So my role at Multivestors is to find new sponsors. So I sought out these guys, and I probably interviewed 24 alternative sponsors on my way to them. And there's some that I like, some of them that do retail, but we're casting an even wider net than that. So we're looking at private equity investments. We're looking at venture capital. These guys have a fund where they'll inject capital into their tenant companies. So like their whole thing is they want to buy and lease back to the tenant and sign a new long-term lease. And sometimes the tenant needs a capital injection to buy new machinery or because of some depreciation or whatever in order to make their loan. So we can inject equity. It's a separate from them, but they have a separate fund that will inject equity into those tenants. And they call them sidecar investments. And we're thinking about doing that alongside them. I'm also ex-Palantir. I don't know if you know this. I worked at Palantir on the sales team for a little while. And I'm connected to a guy who's creating new Department of Defense companies and investing in them. And he called me the other day, and we had a conversation about placing capital. So I think all of this is like a twinkle in my eye right now. I know in Q1 we're going to do more industrial. I know in Q1 we're going to do more multifamily, and I can't really see past Q2 next year. But I'm trying to explore everything that's out there, and I find that the more I grow in this world, this private capital world, the more I find cooler and weirder and interesting financially engineered opportunities. And I'm just trying to like slice and dice through like what's real, what's illegal, what's just illegal enough for me, and you know, probably test it for myself before I bring it to all my investors. Yeah.
Any ground up construction in your future?
I believe interest rates have to come down to do ground up construction. I think right now it's too risky. You have to put too much equity at risk. And that's kind of like a blanket statement, but in all the markets where I am operating, I believe that right now. But that's not to say that I wouldn't do it. I think interest rates ultimately will settle below where they are today. I don't think 6 is the number that every interest rate starts with forever and ever. And I think when they do go down, ground up development will get very interesting, and I have the contacts already in place to do that. So that'll probably be an opportunity that I jump at when the time comes. But my job is not to sit around and wait. I have to create the right opportunity now. So I'm always looking at, you know, what asset classes are at the right point in the market cycle that I'm attracted to right now, and that's just not one at the moment.
Yeah. So our friend, he actually comes around here. He was one of the founders of Open Doors. His name's Ryan Johnson.
Oh, cool.
So he built a place called Cul-de-sac in Tempe.
I know Cul-de-sac. Yeah, I've toured it.
And they built Cul-de-sac with 100% venture capital.
Yep.
So it's no parking, which I guess is a requirement for lending in multifamily. You need a certain amount of parking
You need
to
a
get
ratio.
a loan.
Yeah, exactly.
And because they were all venture capital, they didn't need that.
They didn't need it. Yep.
He's looking into ground up development. He's building some townhouses in Atlanta right now, and it's
Yeah.
because they get venture capital money, it works for them.
Good. Yeah, I'm
But-
glad to hear they're expanding because I think the model works well. I think, especially a town like Phoenix, and Atlanta fits this description too. We don't really have walkable communities. Like in New York, you can walk from community to community, and you're aware when you're in Soho versus when you're in Chelsea versus when you're in the Village, and it's all very cool. And everybody's got the bodega downstairs, and you know your neighbors, and you meet people. You don't find that in Arizona, and I think cul-de-sac has been the closest thing to solving for that community.
So I will
piece.
say the Optima I live at, Optima Camel View,
You were saying
is
this.
very much like that.
Yeah, you said the bar, right?
We got the bar downstairs. It's only one bar. So I think cul-de-sac does it better because they have multiple restaurants and there's
Yeah,
actually
it's a whole
grocery
thing,
stores
yeah.
and they got shops. So cul-de-sac does that better. But Optima is like that in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
It's as close as you're going to get there.
Yeah, I was glad to hear that from you. That's where you ran into Mike Darling.
That's where I ran into Mike Darling.
And
I've
yeah.
done deals just off that bar.
Just sitting
like
at the bar.
I've sold condos because of that bar.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, you should probably start podcasting at that bar.
He would let me, 100%.
You think he would?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are there rules about like noise ordinance? Or
Oh
whatever?
no, he would totally let me do
He
it.
would let you do it.
So the guy who owns it he moved into my building. He's actually a good friend of mine.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll text me at like midnight, like come over, like play pool, like
Come hang. Just
Yeah.
come to the bar. Well, sign me up. The next time, if I'm still a recurring guest after this episode, the next
do a
time
podcast in
we'll
Metropolis.
do a podcast at the bar.
Okay, dude.
And I
yeah.
guarantee I'll drink 3 beers before we start.
I guarantee you will.
Then you
Yeah.
get all the truth out of it.
So wait, you've been back in AZ for how long?
We came back in 2020, right before the pandemic. We were living in Los Angeles.
Great time.
Yeah.
Great timing.
Yeah, excellent timing. Good time to be a commercial tenant broker. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being very sarcastic.
No.
Yeah, that's why multifamily, or that's why Multivestors was born. Is I was not nearly busy enough with my day job at Cushman at the time that I had the bandwidth to create something new. So when my partner Ben called me and kind of had some interest in it, first I said no, that's not what I do. I'm in the office in the industrial games. But he kind of pressed me, and did some learning of his own. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I got nothing else going on. I might as well try this, and the rest is history.
Yeah. The whole work from home thing really threw office brokers a loop.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And there was a moment for me. It was kind of like a culmination of things, but there was like a moment that I remember where the senior broker, who I love, I'm not going to name him, but if he hears this, he knows who he is, and I love him to death. Kind of gave me this speech about like, hey, like you should be in the office the most. Like you're an office guy. And I remember thinking like, why? Like I can make cold calls. I have a home office. I have email. I have SharePoint. Like I have no problem getting files to you or printed or from you or signatures out in DocuSign or whatever. Like I don't need to be anywhere if I don't have a tour today. And I didn't say that to him because I didn't want to disrespect him in the moment. And he's a person who's done a lot for me. But man, did it sit with me. And for like 4 months, I remember thinking like, what am I doing? Like I don't believe in this. Why am I selling this office thing? And I'm probably sounding really extreme right now. Like I think there's a place for office. We're in a co-working environment right now.
Well, I think this is the future. Like
This is probably
this
part
is
of the future.
way better than
Well, and
having an office that you're married to.
There are tenants that are regulated. There are offices that have to be open. Like think about like a pharma company, anything with a laboratory, right? Like you don't have that. If you're a scientist, you don't have that equipment at home. You have
Right.
to go to the office.
You have
right?
to go somewhere.
So there's a reason for a site that can be secured with badged access, and there's a lot of benefits to the office. But when you're talking purely culturally, what I think is people just don't want to be told where to be. People want to be masters of their own schedule. You want to wake up in the morning and say, I have these 6 things to do, and I need to be in these 2 or 3 places to do them, and I'm going to design my own day how I want it to be. But I'm not going to default to going to some Class B office in Phoenix every day and putting more miles on my car if all my meetings are in Gilbert where I live. I'm not driving to Phoenix just to be at some office, So yeah, I think people just don't want to be told where to be. People want to have agency.
Agreed. Agreed. And also the collaborative environment of a place like this, like
It's very cool.
downstairs, this girl runs a marketing company. Like if I need something, I just go ask Cameo. I'm like, hey Cameo, can you make this up really quick for me? And she's like, yeah, boom, done.
Yeah, amazing.
Because it's different industries and we're all collaborating together, which
Yeah.
I think is huge.
Yeah, I think the community aspect is important, and if we were all to work at home, I think that would be a problem, right? Like if everybody became a shut-in and we only met virtually, I would hate that too, because the reason I have a sales type role is because in my ethos, I need to be out there shaking hands and kissing babies and running around town and meeting you and going to a different bar and doing the whole thing, right? If it all went away, I'd be upset. But I like the way that it's playing out, and I think Office has a space. It's just not my baby. anymore.
Yeah. It's going to condense and get much smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's what you saw. I mean, talking to my old broker friends, the trend over, I'm going to call it the last 5 years, has been tenants are happy to pay a higher rate for a smaller space. So the landlord doesn't lose their asset, right? The building owner can still operate with similar income because rates go up and space goes down. So all of a sudden you're taking on more tenants. What's going away is like the major build to suit. One company needs 1 million square feet.
Yeah.
I don't really think. I mean, there's companies like Raytheon and Honeywell that need that, but like a social media company doesn't need all that space, you know, or a marketing agency.
Right. You said you worked at Cushman.
I did. Yeah.
Did you know Tim Kempton?
Yeah, I know Tim.
Do you know Tim? Big
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah, tall Tim.
Shout out Tim. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, Tim joined probably 2 years before I left, so we had a little bit of overlap there. I think we did a deal together up on 44th Street. Yeah. Can't remember who the tenant was. This was a long time ago.
I hooked up with him just through Twitter, so we were just like tweeting at each other. So
Oh,
I moved
cool.
out here, I was like all over every social media, just putting myself out there. So we hooked up through Twitter, and we've been buds ever since. So shout out Big Tim.
Nice.
He would not come play basketball with us. That's the one thing I could never get him to do.
Do you want to play basketball against Tim?
I thought I did, but after like seeing some clips and videos, I'm like, maybe I don't.
Didn't he play like college volleyball?
So his dad was on the '93 Suns, which went to the finals.
Oh, is that what
And
it was?
he played semi-pro in Europe. Or like
Basketball.
overseas, yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe he did play volleyball too, but he was actually
Well, there's definitely that.
just
there's
a
that
level,
overlap.
just one step below the NBA. That was him.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah. So in hindsight, maybe I'm glad you did not come kick my ass, Tim.
I think that's an open invitation, Tim. Anytime you want to play ball, Nick's your guy.
I mean, I'd do it just for the memes. I'll do it for the social media content.
Get dunked on by Tim Kempton.
Hey, if you can still dunk in your late 30s, I give you props for that, brother. I definitely can't. Not that I could ever palm the basketball. Look, I have tiny hands.
Yeah, I
Look at
never
my hands.
could dunk.
Like,
I
you have
do
big-
small hands.
I'm 6'4", and you got bigger hands than me, so I had super tiny hands. But yeah, I could not jump that high. Even if I could palm the ball, I couldn't jump that high anymore.
You're closer to me. At least you play basketball. Basketball was never my sport. I love the game. I have respect for it, but I am not built for it.
Muggsy Bogues was built worse for it than you. And look at
Yeah,
him.
well, he was
made the
probably
NBA.
like 150 pounds lighter than me. That dude could fly.
Dude could fly. He was in Space Jam.
Yeah. Yeah. When was the last time I saw Space Jam?
I think for me it was in the theater when it came out.
Really? I thought you were going to say like yesterday.
Yesterday.
That's my favorite movie. I watch it all the time. I want to be like Mike.
I do want to be like Mike.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, still do. Well, Aaron, you got anything else for us today?
No, this is a fun conversation. I want to close by saying I'm proud of you for keeping the podcast thing going. I was one of your
Thank you.
early guests, and it's cool to, as a fan, to see it, live on like this. I like the new space that you're
My
in.
only
and
fan.
I hope to be back. No, I hope to be back in a few months to do one at the bar, man. This is really fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Aaron Rocha, everybody, Multivestors Group. This is not an investment offering, but call him anyway. I'm Nick El-Tawil. Thanks for watching.